Hey guys, Gab199 Productions here, and today we're going to be picking up again on our series on how to draw each of my characters, which I currently use now for my series Gab199 Productions, a series. So for today, we're going to be drawing the main guy, Pierre Maplestick. Now for those of you that don't know, Pierre Maplestick is the first character in the POMV gang, or POMV gang, which is the group of characters that I mainly use to create what I do now. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using a pencil, a marker, and some colored pencils. And like I said in the last few videos, you can use whatever you want for the coloring. Okay, so, like all my characters, we're going to need to start with a nice rounded square. And like I said in the last two videos, we do not want to draw the top part of that square because that's where the hat's going to go. So let's go ahead and create our hat. We're going to create a nice long arch like that. And we're going to go up twice, create these short little lines, and then we're going to connect them just like that. Okay, now I should probably mention this, even though I did in the last video with Violet Maplestick. You don't want to go up like this when creating the top hat, because I don't do that anymore. So we need to go outwards like that. Same for the other side. And then we're gonna go across like that. I guess you can also make this flat as well, but I like to have a little bit of a bulge. Next, we're going to create our little line here, and now we have our basic Pierre head. And this can turn into multiple things, like an Oscar head, a Violet head, but we're gonna stick with the Pierre head because that's what we're drawing. So, we're gonna need to create the neck. So we're gonna create a curve like that, another one, and then we're gonna go down, and then down again. And this is basically the neck part of the shirt. So, Pierre has two shirts, one that's open and one that's closed. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna draw these two lines right there. And then we're gonna create the shoulders. So, like I said in the last two videos, my characters are very geometric. So we're gonna need to give them nice rectangular arms. Like that. Then we're gonna bring this down here and close that. Next, we're going to repeat for the other arm. Close that, and then there we go. Now, Pierre doesn't have a long sleeve shirt, so we're going to create two sleeves right about there. Next, we can close that up, and we are done with the torso. Next, we're going to go ahead and create the legs, and again, like I said, they're very geometric, so we need to create two long rectangles. Just going to create the shoes right there. And there we go. So I'm going to give you a few seconds, pause the video if you need to finish up whatever you need to finish up. Okay, so Pierre has different eyes than most of my characters. So he has these circular dot eyes here. Actually, you know what? This is actually not as rare as you might think, because most of my male characters will either have this or they'll have eyes like that. But yeah. So, you should have these dot eyes right here. Next, we're gonna go ahead and create his really, really wide smile. This has been a staple for drawing Pierre for many, many years. And we can go ahead and color that in. Okay, there we go. Now, let's give him some eyebrows. So we're gonna go down, like with an arch like that. And I guess we can make that go a little bit further. And there we go. So I'm gonna continue on this time because this actually didn't take too long. So follow along with me on the outline here. This is where expo marker comes in, by the way. So take some time to grab that and pause the video if you need to, but you're gonna follow me along like this. Oh, and by the way, for the hat, the eyes, I recommend using something like a Sharpie and not an expo marker because this one has like a point. So you can easily create those dot eyes, unlike what you can usually do with an expo marker. Depends on what kind it is, like if you have a thin one, that's great. But if you don't, then a Sharpie will work just fine. And we're gonna color that in. I'm just going to use a Sharpie for the rest of the video, but use whatever you want, really. So, we're going to outline those parts, go down like that, and basically we're just tracing over everything. Missed some parts there. It's okay. If you happen to overlap some parts like I do, just erase them. It's okay. And if you want, if I'm going too fast, you can also slow down the video. Okay. So I'm going to cut the video here and show what this should look like colored in. Okay, this is what Pierre should generally look like. So, for purple for the undershirt and the parts of the top hat here. Very bright yellow for the stripe part. Light yellow for the skin. And black for the overshirt and gray for the pants. Now, pause the video, and if you already are satisfied with this, then that's great. But I'm gonna keep doing this thing in the videos where we have a varsity option, where that's what my project lead, the way teacher calls it, where so if you are fine with this, then that's good. But if you want to do the varsity option with me, then that's awesome too. So, let's say, I always do this in my videos, let's say that light is going to come from this way. So, we need to get an orange colored pencil for his skin, and we're going to go very, very lightly. You want to make sure you don't press down too hard on the orange, because then it's going to look a little weird. So, we need to go under the hat like that, and we need the shadow facing this way, because remember that light is coming from that direction. We're going to go down here and then make sure that the right side is darkened. And keep in mind that this is orange, so this only applies to the skin and the part of the top hat, which we're going to do right about as soon as you're done with this. Pause the video if you need to. Alright, now we're going to move on to this part right here. Okay, you can go a little bit darker on the orange or with this one here, or well, you can press down harder on the pencil, but now for the purple, we need to go for a blue colored pencil. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna press down a little bit harder than we normally would. See that? Now we're gonna go like that, go down there, and then we need to come around here a little bit, because remember, this overshirt is covering this undershirt. And for the black, well, we could just go ahead and make it a little bit darker right around there. And then around there too, because light is coming from that direction. And then if you want, you can add a little bit of shading under here. And then there we go. We have our finished Pierre. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and I hope you got yourselves a nice little Pierre. All right, see you on the next one.